In the inbox late night, glowing screens see the light. Do-do-do, email, everything feels alright.
I brought Jocelyn here today to talk about social commerce, something that obviously is coming up on a lot of people's radars, and where email retention fits into that.
There's two areas where emails can be collected within Facebook and Instagram shops. Really important, though, to make sure that you do have it set up correctly. If not, the emails will just be collected in Meta and they'll be dead, essentially. Setting up that integration is really key to success.
20% of e-commerce is going through social commerce now. This is kind of like when e-commerce went mobile. And everyone, it's 20%, it's 30%. It just grows and grows and grows. It's the world's best email and retention podcast, and I'm your host, Jordan Gordon. I'm joined today with Jocelyn Kell, who is a pod lead at Pilothouse. Essentially, she runs a team. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you again.
Hey, Jordan. Yeah, it's great to be here. Really excited to chat today about social commerce and how that connects with retention.
Yeah, awesome. First, do you want to just tell us a little bit more about what you do? My introduction of running a small team is not very descriptive, but we'd love to know what you do exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I manage ad accounts hands-on and then oversee buying strategy and creative direction for a handful of brands here at Pilothouse, all in the DTC space and focused on driving growth for our clients.
So you kind of run the show for a number of brands, is that right?
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so everybody out there in email and customer retention land, I brought Jocelyn here today to talk about social commerce. It's just something that obviously is coming up on a lot of people's radars. A lot of people are doing it. And I wanted to just make sure we touch on where email retention fits into that space. Look, I thought I'd just kick it off, Jocelyn, by just listing a couple of stats that I've seen. This is just stuff off the site. Basically, 20% of e-commerce is going through social commerce now, which is a big jump. This is kind of like when kind of e-commerce went mobile, right? And everyone, it's 20%, it's 30%. It just grows and grows and grows. So we're seeing that exact same thing where it's growing about 30% a year. And who knows, half of e-commerce might end up be on social commerce kind of in the foreseeable future. So look, from your perspective, do you have anything to kind of say about really high level social commerce before we start talking about email and retention?
Yeah, there's definitely been a huge boom, an increase in users purchasing through a variety of platforms. Facebook and Instagram are the main two that we focus on here at Pilothouse, but we're also seeing some brands really thrive on TikTok for the time being here. But yeah, a combination of paid and organic can do really well on social and really drive growth for a lot of D2C brands across various industries.
Interesting, a mix of paid and organic. So, on your end, are you kind of actually using the same kind of content engine and just kind of repurposing things across the two different types, or is it two completely different kind of operations that a company would use?
Yeah, it's definitely two different operations based off of the goals between paid and organic. So we're really focused on paid here with the Pilothouse socials team, but yeah, organic can definitely help with nurturing and engaging your new and existing customers.
Yeah. So one of the themes that I've been discussing with my audience here for months and months is it's just becoming more and more challenging to get into the inbox. Kind of my last couple of audits I ran, when I went and checked out their Gmail click-through rate, it was like 0.1%, 0.15%. Basically, the kind of large inbox providers are becoming very picky about what they inbox. Meanwhile, if you're not doing your segmentation right and you've got a bunch of bot clicks in there, this is kind of platform specific stuff, but it can say 0.1% and for Gmail specifically, but headline, it'll say 1% because it's full of nasty bot clicks. It's just like a really unruly situation. And my guess is the reason for this is there's just more and more and more business getting stuffed through email. Every single purchase resolves to email. Your email address is kind of like your chosen unique identifier for society. You put it everywhere. You can't get a degree without an email address. And so then, Gmail and Yahoo are just getting hammered. And then social commerce shows up and says, hey, you know what? Now we're going to get people to start putting their email address in while they're surfing Instagram, right? And then you're going to start getting purchases and emails flying around. So when I was going through and kind of investigating this, everybody out there, I contacted Jocelyn and said, hey, I want to make sure that kind of permission is working right, and that Klaviyo, we do a lot of Klaviyo here. This, of course, works with other channels if there's an integration, but make sure that Klaviyo is integrating right with social commerce such that, the happy path for me is I get a buyer through Instagram, Meta, whatever. That buyer comes into Klaviyo, that buyer goes into Shopify, and I have permissions to mail them. And by the way, Jocelyn, when I checked this, essentially 90% of the addresses, everything was the exact outcome I wanted. I had some addresses where I didn't see a piece of permission that I wanted to see, and we can always just exclude those. And from, I'm a simple business guy. If 90% of the stuff coming through is looking good, I'm happy for now. I can go back and dig for the other 10% later on if I need to. But if that thing's working, I can go focus on something else that's on fire. So that being the high level here, I mean, are you seeing people, kind of, clients that you're working with, reactivating their social commerce customers through email and driving them to Shopify or WooCommerce or whatever their cart is?
Yeah, we definitely do see that happen. With Shopify clients, there is a sales channel within Shopify. It's the Facebook and Instagram sales channel, and that is what really allows email collection to happen within Meta shops. So there's two areas where emails can be collected within Facebook and Instagram shops, one being on the homepage, and the other, of course, in checkout when a user goes to make the purchase on shops. And yeah, in the settings, it's super intuitive, really easy for you to set up the integration in a way that emails are automatically being transferred over into Klaviyo. Really important, though, to make sure that you do have it set up correctly. If not, the emails will just be collected in Meta and they'll be dead essentially unless you export and move them over manually. So yeah, setting up that integration is really key to success with ensuring that those users are added to your email list and receive ongoing campaign and flow messages. And then yeah, you can also add in discounts. So if you want to match your welcome offer that shows on your pop-up on your main site, you can add that in to Meta Shops as well, so that users are getting some type of an offer, an incentive to submit their email within Facebook and Instagram shops. And then yeah, another benefit to shops is that it loads really quick. So if a user clicks on a tagged product photo from an organic post, they're instantly shown the PDP within your shop. They can really easily find all of the product information that is populating from Shopify, and they can scroll through the pictures. There's typically UGC that can also be added to Facebook shops. So that just adds another element of social proof and really allows people to gain more trust in the product. And yeah, it's a simple checkout process. It works typically fairly well with lower AOV products. We generally see a lot of success with brands that have a core product that's under $100. So it's more of an impulse purchase as opposed to higher AOV products. And then we also see a lot of success with brands that are skewed towards the female demographic. So yeah, those are just a couple of considerations. Really recommend giving it a try if you don't have it set up for the purchase process, and then also ensuring that users are added to your email list so that Jordan and the retention teams can retarget to those users.
So would it make sense, there are these kind of product-based ads, would it make sense that you kind of use one of these product-based ads, it drives to the PDP directly in social, the pop-up is there, the offer's right there? Is that kind of a way that you might try to get, if you were trying to achieve lead gen with this, is that one way that you might do it?
Yeah. For lead gen, we typically send users straight to landing pages. That's generally where we see higher quality leads come through. There could be a case where you do want to send users straight to the Meta shop, and that would be sending them just to the homepage where they can sign up and redeem your welcome offer. So yeah, it could be a play to have an ad that says save up to 10% with welcome 10, but you need to then click through and of course sign up. And then with setting up ads that send users to Meta shops, there isn't the functionality currently to send all users to the shops. You need to use a Facebook shop website split. So that allows Meta to dynamically send people to the two destinations depending on where it thinks they're most likely to convert. So in the case of lead gen, we typically would recommend sending users straight to site, but there could be opportunity to test out sending users to both destinations as well, for sure.
Yeah, okay. There was lots of very platform-specific expertise that you were just discussing there. So if anybody has any further questions about that, please feel free to come to pilothouse.co, fill out the lead form, and speak with Jocelyn and her team. So, one of the important points there that you were discussing was matching the offer. And look, important here, my recommendation is if you're going to kind of, start using more social commerce and you want retention to work, give people the exact same experience. Like, I don't think that we should, they bought through Instagram, they're a different kind of buyer, segmented. Those kind of data points do exist. And if someone digs around, they can probably figure out how to change that experience. But in this case, I would just see it as an additional cart, the exact same kind of buyer. So yeah, certainly matching those offers up is the way to approach it. And that's kind of all that I had to discuss. It's actually, the nice thing was in my investigation that everything's working great. I was worried for exactly 0.2 seconds when I really started thinking it through, like, what if, these addresses don't come into email. But the fact is, email is a network of 4.5 billion monthly users, monthly active users. And, no tech platform is saying, hey, I'm not interested in integrating with people who use email because email is completely ubiquitous. So as I dug in, I immediately found, this thing works perfectly. And so, my closing comment is everybody make sure, of course, you're using social commerce. If you got questions how to use it, contact Pilothouse. And just check, this is exactly what Jocelyn and I did. Just take some addresses from your social commerce, pop them into Klaviyo, check out the permissions, make a little segment, right? Import them and make sure that you're getting the permission to send appropriately. That way you know that what you've set up on the account is appropriate. And once you got permission, just start spamming. So, any other comments on that, Jocelyn?
No, I think that all sounds good. Definitely just recommend giving it a try and making sure that everything is set up correctly on Meta to really maximize those email users.
Yeah. Well, Happy New Year, and I hope to see you again on Slack or in some meetings, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks, Jordan.
In the inbox late night, glowing screen, see the light. Email, everything feels alright.
Hey, entrepreneurs and spammers. Remember, you can't scale without email, and the cheapest customer to acquire is the customer you already have. So please subscribe to the world's best email and retention podcast and learn how to make low-cost revenue a big part of your digital ecosystem.